Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We are finally there. That is stagflation, and that's not good. And if you put that together with the war in Ukraine and with what's going to happen in our countries here, I don't think that support for Ukraine would be viable for a long time. I posted a video a minute ago, a while ago, regarding uh, the help, the support, it's endless support coming from the G7 for Ukraine, and it's going to be for as long as it takes. And I stated that actually that would be until the population will start talking and protesting against all these sanctions, not because of the sanctions necessary, but because of the consequences on their lives, on their economic lives and their lifestyles due to the sanctions imposed on a country 3,000 million miles away from their shores. So we have here an economist. And I don't know if I necessarily, uh, agree with economists in general because they sometimes get it right, sometimes they get it wrong. But in this case, the evidence goes to one direction: high inflation, low productivity, shrinking economies. That's where we're heading. So this article comes from Fortune from today, June 26, 2022, and this is the title. Stagflation is here even if recession isn't yet, top economist Mohamed El-Erian said. Now, the US may or may not see a recession in the next year or two, top economists contend, top economists contend, but one thing is certain: stagflation is real and it's here in the US. That's what Mohamed El-Erian, or Arian, economist and president of Queen's College of Cambridge University, told Yahoo Finance in a recent interview, and I'm quoting, "The baseline is stagflation, what we are experiencing now. Inflation high, growth slowing down," he said. "The balance of risk has shifted significantly in favor of recession. The probability of a soft landing for the US economy has declined significantly due to multiple Federal Reserve mistakes," El-Erian said, adding that the Fed didn't respond fast enough to inflation. And I'm quoting, "Unfortunately, it's uncomfortably possible that the Fed is going to slam on the brakes and push us into recession," he said, adding that the Fed has low credibility and is consistently late. No credibility, low credibility, and consistently late. Earlier this month, he told CBS's Face the Nation that he feared consumer prices could rise to 9% higher than they were last year. In May, US consumer prices were 8.6% higher than the year before, a 4-year high. What is stagflation? It's a combination of economic stagnation and high inflation, which the added struggle with the added struggle of increased unemployment. We're getting there, right? Typically, economists focus on three big macroeconomic variables: gross domestic product, unemployment, and inflation. Each measure tells its own important story about how the economy is doing. GDP, or the total output of all goods and services produced, shows us what the broader economy is doing. Unemployment tells us about the job situation, and inflation measures the movement of prices. But their stories also overlap, and unfortunately, they usually don't all tell us good news at the same time. It's not uncommon to see a strong GDP with low unemployment counterbalanced by high inflation, or low inflation with lower GDP and perhaps high unemployment. But their stories also overlap. Yes, and unfortunately, they usually don't tell us good news at the same time. So normally there is some good news and some bad news, but with stagflation, there is no good news. With stagflation, there's no good news. Well, the inflation, we kind of know where that came from. Uh, Usually it comes from a crazy amount of currency dumped in the market, and that happens when you're incapable of supporting a healthy economy. Then you need to provide some incentives somehow, and you make up with that for that with currency, with money. You print money, and you print money, and the more money available, the less the value of the money, obviously. So we had that with correlated with low productivity, which was partly due to coronavirus restrictions, and a lot of businesses worked at a low, how should I put it, low frequency. They were not allowed to work. They had all these restrictions with distancing and all that, and then it was a stimulus, the money that was just given to the population to make up for not either not being employed or having low hours to work. Then productivity was low, the economy did that. A lot of money came on the market. It was dumped in the in the economy, and then you have unemployment because if you don't have you can't work. That's one thing. And then if you get benefits, why would you work? So why don't you? I mean, for instance, I know cases, people that I'm dealing with, they work maybe, let's say, the amount of money they make by working is about 10% above the benefits, or how do you want to call it, this, the money they would get otherwise from unemployment and other sources that are considered services provided by the government. So they think, why should I go and work for the 10%? I just stay home and do other hanky-panky stuff, and I get almost the same amount of money. And if both, let's say it's a family, he and she, they don't even work, they stay home and they make almost the same amount of money. I know cases, numerous cases of people doing that. Or simply do that and work under the table. That's another, how should I put it? They don't pay taxes. Another way of making, money and all that. Who knows? In situations like this, you try anything that you can do just to, get ahead. So it is what it is. Let's put it this way. And unemployment, they say it's growing and so on. Well, I don't know about that. Inflation is high. The prices for products is high. So then we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what's going to happen. But if that's going to be the case, if it keeps going down, 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 lower and lower, do you think that these guys are going to say, yeah, let's help another country somewhere else because it's a bad dude over there and some good dude over there, and my kids don't have shoes and clothes for the winter, and the electricity goes high and the gas price, and I don't think so. So thank you very much for being with me again today. Stagflation. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.